Hello and welcome to the match preview of Manchester United versus Manchester City at Old Trafford on Sunday. I've got Sati and Joey to talk about the game with me. Thanks for coming on. Sati, are you in confident mood going into this game, considering the contrast in form now of both teams? I mean, it's a lot different to when we played them at the Etihad earlier in the season. Most people around seem to be fairly optimistic about our chances of winning this game. I think we've lost about 3 times on the trot at Old Trafford against Manchester City, so I think maybe the tables are turning a bit now. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think, going into this game, because this is the very first time in a long time we're playing against City, I'm confident because, last season under Moyes, in a terrible run of form, and it just didn't end. And this time, I think, the form has come at the right period, especially considering the fact that we've got, Spurs who beat Liverpool, and Chelsea and City, especially considering the fact that we've got them games and the form's come now. I think, it's the best possible time to have the form, and going into it, I think, especially that we've got a dilemma of who to play and which place to play, because of the fact that we didn't have this a while ago, it's a very good thing to have. And Lou Van Gaal will be scratching his head who to play. But going into it, the confidence really very high, especially considering the fact that players are all, tweeting each other on Twitter and that. The morale's very high in the team. So, yeah, I'd be very confident going into this.
Yeah, definitely. We're playing some of the best football we've played all season. Are you surprised, Joey, how this game's come? I mean, Manchester City last time we played them were a lot more better than they are now. They seem to have dropped off massively since January, and we've picked up gradually. I mean, I'm not getting too carried away with our performances. I mean, we're not perfect by all means at the moment, but we're definitely looking a lot better than we were. The gap's definitely closed between ourselves and Manchester City. Are you expecting a more tight game this time than it's been in previous years?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a tight game regardless. And it just, I saw a stat the other day that said that they have the worst form in 2015 of the top half of the table. And I mean, I think that just shows you that it's a reflection of a little bit of Pellegrini, how he hasn't been able to motivate, and he's kind of stuck with that 4-4-2. And they didn't make the right additions in the summer to defend the title. It's kind of like when they won it 2 years ago. They didn't really spend any money in the summer, and then we kind of relatively won it with ease. And then the next summer they came out, they bought Negredo and a bunch of other players and really reimbursed the team and things like that. But I love what Sati just said about how different it is from this year and last year. Last year we were so bad, and it was just like, it wasn't even close either game. I mean, the first game was 4-1, the second one was 3-0, and now we have selection problems. Who would have thought that? Ashley Young, coming into form, and Marouane Fellaini even so. Chris Smalling. These are great headaches to have. So the fact that we're even debating this or talking about it is a great benefit for us. But obviously, I'm very confident going into the game because of what I've seen the last few weeks. Granted, it wasn't the best performance against Villa, but Villa, they came in with their 2 banks of 4, and they defended pretty well for most of the game. I think they showed a blueprint on how you stop Fellaini. You put a few men on him. Don't let him get up and go up for the ball. That long ball tactic that we've seen United use in the last 2 months. But going into this game, it is strange being the favorites. Anything can happen in derbies. Form goes out the window. But I think every United fan is confident going in, and I think it's also a reflection of Louis Van Gaal. Under David Moyes, it was 4-4-2 and then 4-2-3-1, and it was the same old tactics. And then it was, he didn't have a style of play. Under Van Gaal, he just commands respect and the attention to detail that the players talk about. They'll know every single weakness of every single City player. Van Gaal will go in there with a clear game plan that can win us the game. So it'll be an interesting game. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. As you said there, with the fact that these derby games, you never know, form does go out the window. Sati, how do you see us going to this game? I mean, where do you see us? The key battles for us. I mean, obviously, I feel Wayne Rooney's got to be one of the key players for us in this game. He's got, I think, 11 derby goals for us in recent years, which is great. He's the top all-time scoring Manchester derbies. Do you think maybe he's the key to this game, maybe to get us a victory here?
Yeah, I think Rooney up front, because especially considering the fact that Van Gaal said that Van Persie's out. I just don't want to see Van Persie. When he does come back into the squad, hopefully I think he is fit for the Chelsea game. When he does come back in, I don't want to see him walk straight back into the team, because I think that was our major downfall this season. Because this season, when we had Van Persie in the squad, yes, he scored against Hull and teams like that, but when we played against the big boys, he didn't really show up most of it, except for the one goal against Chelsea. But for me, I want to see Rooney. He's been phenomenal throughout the whole of the season. I think he's one of our key players. Going on onto the Fellaini debate, I think putting two or three men onto Fellaini, I think it does kind of set him back a bit. He won't be able to get much influence onto the game. But I think just going into it with Fellaini in the squad, I think any team will be scared of him, especially considering the defensive side of it. Because City do have the players of Yaya Toure, David Silva, and if Fellaini can man mark Yaya on corners, all set pieces, even when he's got the ball, I think Fellaini will do a wonderful job, because the strength of Fellaini is amazing. And just going onto it, key players in our midfield under Herrera, Juan Mata, they've all been excellent, and that's what I'm saying. The confidence is going so well. I just can't see any other result than a win for us, because all our players this time last season, I wouldn't be saying Marouane Fellaini, Ashley Young, and David De Gea. David De Gea was good last season, but he wasn't as good as this season. And they've all been excellent. They've all come into form. Even people like Chris Smalling are playing amazing, and you would never thought that last season. So it's a big change, and I think all the players are starting to build this togetherness with each other. Even when one player has a bad game, they'll all pick themselves up and say, what, Van Gaal will go around the player and put an arm around their shoulder and make them comfortable. I think that's the key thing this season. The manager's been more, he's communicated with the team a lot more, and I think players like Ashley Young, they've done amazing. And I'd say the main player for us is Wayne Rooney. If he gets on the ball and runs at them, they'll be terrified, especially considering the fact there'll be no Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, his goal tally's really increased since we've put him back as a central striker. I think we were lacking the goal, especially in away games when Rooney was in midfield, because Falcao and Van Persie got a few, but just didn't get enough goals. How do you see us, Joe, sort of breaking this Manchester City team down in that? I mean, this season lately they've been pretty shocking company at the back. And they're letting goals in. So really, I mean, apparently Kompany's not playing for this game, so they're probably going to have to play Mangala and Di Michelis at the back. Do you think we can really get at these two centre halves? I mean, neither of them are of the top quality in the Premier League this season. I mean, Mangala's, in my eyes, hasn't been very good at all. So do you think we can really get at these and really get two or three goals in this game?
Oh yeah, my mouth is watering at the fact that it could be Mangala and Di Michelis, because Mangala has shown that he's not been worth the price tag, and Di Michelis, while he played okay last year, he really lacks pace, and I feel like if Wayne Rooney's up top, which he should be, Wayne Rooney's got the pace to get in behind him and maybe let Di Michelis slip up. But we were talking about Fellaini and the two or three men on him, and him marking Toure. I think even if Fellaini, if he has two or three men focused on him, that's going to open up spaces for Rooney and Mata and Herrera and even Young to get into those pockets of space in between the fullbacks and the center backs, behind the midfield and in front of the defense. So I think there's a few key battles I'm looking at. I'm definitely looking at the wings, because I want to see the right side. I want to see Mata and Valencia against, I'm going to say it's probably going to be Clichy and Silva on that side. That should be a key battle. And I've also heard that, their right side, their right back, it's been either Zabaleta or Sanya. Neither of them have been in great form. So I think we can get some joy down the wings. I would, like I said, I would start Ashley Young, and I would let him do a lot of the dirty work. I said this yesterday. He's going to put in that defensive work, and he's going to get stuck in, and he's going to, do the things that Di Maria isn't going to do. I'm a huge fan of Di Maria, don't get me wrong, but for this game, I think you let Young do the dirty work for the first 50, 60 minutes, and then you bring Di Maria on to run at tired players. Because he just, Di Maria, like I said, moments of brilliance out of nothing. So I think that, that would be key for us. Keep possession, keep the ball moving, keep us moving, create those triangles all over the pitch, and wear the City players out. This is a real statement that United can make right now. If they go out and beat City, I don't care if they've been in bad form. It's a win over your rivals, and it's a win over, they were the second best team in the league for most of the year. So, I mean, I think if we win this game, who knows how high they can finish. They're not going to win the title, obviously, but there's that game against Arsenal later in the season, and I said that it could mean second or third for either club because both clubs are playing fantastic football right now. Arsenal looked great against Liverpool, and they look good in the recent weeks, minus the Monaco game. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, Van Gaal will know what he wants to do. Like I said, he'll have a clear game plan, and it'll be nice to see how it unfolds and if it works.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you've got any thoughts on whether we should start Di Maria over Ashley Young Sati. I mean, he's got quite a few assists this season. I mean, the last couple of games he hasn't started, but I mean he has been injured in that this season, and I think he will come back into form coming into next season. But do you think we should start him on the bench or maybe start him from the start in this game and really get at this defence if Company's not playing?
Yeah, I think Di Maria should start in this because in a big game, it's such as a derby, you need your big players to shine. And Di Maria, for me, he's going to be there, he's going to be on the pitch, and if he starts on the bench, maybe it could be a blessing in disguise, and the fact that Young does he does the defensive work, and the fact that Di Maria doesn't do as much. But for me, I think Di Maria's got to start because looking at the other right hand side, Juan Mata and Valencia, just touching on what Joey said, David Silva likes to drift in a lot, and Juan Mata has been taught by Lou Van Gaal in the last couple of weeks to stay on the right hand side, like we did see against Liverpool. He stretched Alberto Moreno a lot, so I think that could be a key battle against Clichy, because Clichy is very attacking. I don't really think Juan Mata can get past him a lot in that game, so it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, Di Maria for me, I think he'll be able to easily cruise past. If it's Zabaleta playing there or Sanya, whoever it is, I think he'll be easily cruise past him. Whether it be Young, I think it'll be a different battle. But for me, Di Maria has to start.
Yeah, I'm thinking about I would start Di Maria in this game, although Ashley Young has been fantastic lately. But I feel that he will come into some form now, Di Maria, and going into next season, I think he's going to be a lot better next season. I'm not too worried that he has had some bad patches this season. He's the second assists man in the Premier League, I think, behind Fabregas, so that's not bad going considering he's had a bit of a stop-start career at Manchester United so far. Joey, where do you see Man City's main threat? I mean, Aguero obviously scored a few goals against us in recent games, and then obviously there's Touré in midfield, who can always cause us a problem. Do you see them two and possibly Silva being the main threats? I mean, Edin Dzeko has just been well off the pace this season. I mean, he's been awful.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And going back to the Di Maria thing, if he does start, that does not bother me at all. What I would do is Ashley Young starting, but if Di Maria starts, I won't be mad at all because I know the quality he possesses. So moving on from that, I think you nailed it. Those three players are the three players to worry about. I think if they're gonna play, if I were Pellegrini, I know what I would do is I would play Yaya Touré as the 10, and I would play Fernando and Fernandinho in there to combat that our midfield three. But if he comes out in his 4-4-2, it's gonna be really well for us. But yeah, David Silva's a quality player. I've always admired him, and he's one player I would always love to see in a red shirt. But it'll be interesting who plays on the other side. It's either going to be Nasri or it's going to be Jesus Navas, and neither have been in good form this season. They're talking about, people are worried about Blind at left back and his pace against Navas. But Blind has shown that with his footballing brain, he makes up for it with his passing and with his positioning. But yeah, Aguero, man, he always seems to score against us. He hasn't, he was doing really well in the first half of the season, and don't think it's a coincidence that their form has kind of tailed off the same as Aguero. If Aguero was firing goals, it wouldn't matter how bad the team was performing because he and like Robin van Persie 2 years ago can carry a team, but he hasn't done that. But yeah, you always have to worry about Touré. You have to worry about Aguero and definitely David Silva. But other than that, their defense is probably worse than ours, with or without Company. So, there's some weaknesses in their team, some glaring weaknesses, I think.
Yeah, definitely. If we can get out of that defence, I think we can really cause them some problems. And I'm confident that we can get some goals in this game. Sati, how would you line up for this game? I mean, would you keep the same sort of team and formation as we've played in the last few games? Because, I mean, if it's not broken, we shouldn't really need to change it much, should we?
No, I think the team that's been playing against Liverpool, Tottenham, and Villa, I think it's a quality team. But I think Di Maria has to start, as I've just said. I think if he doesn't start, Young can start, and it's still a good position for us to have dilemma in, because either way, if Young does start and Di Maria doesn't, he can do the defensive work. But for me, I think the back line is going to it's going to be the hardest it could possibly be for the first time this season, because people have been saying they don't want Valencia to start, and who else would you start? Rafa, Louis van Gaal hasn't even flattered an eyelid at him, so I don't really see him as a competition. But I like to see Rafa start, because he always gives passion whenever he plays. And against City last season, yes, we lost 3-0, but he did play very well, and I think it could be the same situation here again. But for me, back line, I think Jones Jones can't start for me. I just don't think he always has that one mistake in him leading into every game, and it always comes up, as we saw against Tottenham. We nearly gave away an own goal from what 20-yard pass. It was stupid. But for me, Rojo this morning, I think David Benn's going to be the crucial player at left back, because with his pace, but he's really intelligent. I think out and intelligent. I think it's Hovers Navas, whoever plays there. So yeah, probably him, and then Carrick, Herrera, and Fellaini, because I think nothing needs changed in midfield, and up front Rooney with Di Maria and Juan Mata on the right.
Yeah, I think I pretty much agree with you there on the team, but obviously we'll have to just see whether it's Ashley Young or Di Maria. Jones has obviously got a mistake in him, so it always does worry me if he does play. But I'm not too sure. I think he might possibly play him on Sunday. I don't know your thoughts on the team, Joey. Would you put out a similar sort of team? I mean, there's not much point in changing it dramatically from these other games, because since we started playing this new formation, we've seemed to be getting better and better.
Yeah, the play has gotten better, and I would stick with a similar team. De Gea, I would go with Valencia, Smalling, Rojo, Blind, Carrick, Herrera, Fellaini, Mata, Rooney. I start Young. Wouldn't be mad if Di Maria started. Trust me, I know the quality he possesses. It's nice to have this same team. I think keeping the same team and the continuity is a reason why we've seen kind of the performances that we have been. And it is good to have selection dilemmas, but I think there are some areas we need to strengthen in the summer, and that's a whole nother video. But I think right back is one of them. But the players play for Van Gaal, and that's always good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it probably will be Valencia, because I don't know what his problem is with Rafael, but he doesn't seem to have a lot of confidence in Rafael this season, especially since he's come back from injury. Are you going for a confident score, Sati, in this game? I'm pretty confident myself. I think most Manchester United fans think we are going to win this game, and hopefully you agree. I don't know what sort of scoreline you're going to go for.
Yeah, I think it's the very first time in a long while we're going into this game thinking we're going to win, and for me it's got to be like, I think it will be, I know I don't want to jinx it, but I think it could be a 4-1 victory, because I think we'll go and get revenge of what they did to us last season at the Etihad, because they outplayed us, and literally I think we'll do the same. I think we'll destroy them, and it'll be a 4-1 victory, and goals coming from, I think Rooney will get a hat-trick. I really do, because he always plays well against City, and there is no reason, especially with the run of form he's in. So I'll say Rooney for the other one, and Herrera for the fourth goal.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm sort of thinking of maybe 3-1 to Manchester United. Would be nice to see Wayne Rooney carry on and get another couple of goals. Obviously, he's the main man up front now, so he's the one that's really got to be providing the goals for us. Have you got any other thoughts to say, Joey, and any score predictions?
I don't know, man. It's so crazy being confident going in this game. Losing 6 of the last 7. I would love a 4-1. I would love a 3-1. I would love a 1-0, honestly. Yeah. But I'm going to go 2-1, because I think, like I said, Aguero seems to score against us. But I think Rooney and Mata will get the goal. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm still going to be nervous as hell watching the game, But we'll see how it turns out. I mean, this is a big thing, I think top 4, don't want to jinx it, but it looks almost a certain now. So I think now we should just be trying to get as high as we can in the table. I don't want to play that qualifier match that the 4th place has to offer. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've covered pretty much everything tonight. Do Sati, you want to tell people where they can find you on Twitter and YouTube?
Yeah, my Twitter is theunitedman_mu, and I've got a YouTube channel called The United Man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, that's no worries. You can come back on again anytime soon. And Joey, do you want to just remind everyone where to find you on Twitter and that?
It's at Joey Tabor. Dan will put the link in the bio. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully we can get the 3 points and get that gap bigger between ourselves and Manchester City for the hard upcoming games, because we've got 2 away games against Chelsea and Everton, I think, coming up on the horizon after, so they'll be tough. Thanks to everyone for watching tonight, a lot of viewers tonight, and please let us know your thoughts in the comments box below on the game, anything to do with the match against Manchester City, and we'll be back again on Sunday to discuss how the game has gone.